Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are planning out the week of April 24th through to April 30th, and this week was actually my mum's birthday week, so we are using a celebratory style kit from Scribble Prints Co. April was a very SPC heavy month, but you would have known that if you saw my April kit lineup video, because I obviously showed all of the kits that I was going to be using for the month of April in that video. And I think it was just SPC killed it. Like, in terms of what I had happening in April, SPC was like number one. I had so many kits from SPC and they just fit the occasions that I was celebrating perfectly. And this week was no exception. I did and ah over this kit a little bit. I did delay filming this one a little bit just because I was like, do I really want to use this one for my mum's birthday? Like, is it the vibe? Is it the right color palette? Do I want to save this for potentially like a bridal shower or an anniversary or like a baby shower or something like that? And it took me far too long to decide. And then in the end, I was like, you know what? I've had this kit in my collection for so long and I'm yet to use it. I've found other kits to use for, you know, all of the different celebrations I've had on, including baby showers. So I just went ahead and I was like, yep, this is the kit that I'm using. And then you'll see here at the moment on screen, I'm struggling with the amount of boxes that were in the kit. And I was like, what ones am I going to use? Like, how am I going to do this? In the end, I think I picked really well. I think it was like a good dispersion. No. I think, let's just rephrase. I think my selection worked really well. So yeah, like I said, this is the week of April 24th to April 30th. I went on a little bit of a tangent there. It is an SPC kit, and I am using a foil bundle from SPC that came with this kit, and it's in like the bronze. I think it's a matte bronze, and I think it's the only like matte bronze that I've got, and I think it worked so perfectly with this kit, and I'm now obsessed with matte bronze, and I want everything to be matte bronze, but correct me if I'm wrong. It may not even be matte bronze. I don't know. I think that's what it is, but if you know, let me know. But yeah, I'm so happy with this kit. I think it did work well because the color palette is very autumnal. And as I've mentioned before on my channel, April is autumn for Australia. So the color palette worked really, really well. But like I said, I don't know if anyone experiences this. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you are like this. But when I'm going through and I'm picking kits to use for a particular week or for a particular event, I want it to be the perfect kit. But then I also get in this frame of mind where I'm like, I need to hoard it. It's so beautiful. Or, you know, I'll have a bad run. Like, I know that last year, so 2022, there was a couple of weeks in my planner that I just didn't like. Like, I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was the kits that I chose. I don't know whether it was the color of the kits, the way I used the kits. But there are a few spreads in my 2022 planner that I'm not necessarily in love with. And when I have too many spreads that I'm not in love with, whether it be like back to back or like in a month or in a, you know, whatever the time period is, I get in a bit of a state of mind where I'm like, I'm done with this planner now. I hate the spreads that I've done. Why do I want to use my pretty spreads in this planner when I have these ugly spreads? And then I'm like, no, I'm going to save that pretty spread, or that pretty kit rather, and I'm going to use it in next year, like when I start fresh, and next year's going to be a perfect year. But the reality is there's no guarantee it's going to be a perfect year. Like, there's nothing saying that in 2023 or 2024 or 2027 that every spread that I do in my planner is going to be something that I love, because it's all trial and error. You know, at one point you might feel in the mood for a particular kit and then you lay it down and it doesn't look the way that you thought it would look, or it doesn't translate to your planner the way that you thought it would as it presents in the kit itself. And I get really in my head about it, and then I get like I don't want to use my planner anymore. I want to get a new planner, or I want to like not plan anymore and then plan like the following year. And then like I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch people doing plan with me videos, and then I'll get back in my planner groove and start planning, and then, you know, I do some really nice spreads and then I'm happy again. But I don't know. That's just me. If anyone else is like that, please let me know in the comments below, because it would be nice to know that I'm not alone. But this is like the prime example. Like, this kit was absolutely stunning to look at in kit format, but the way that it lays down, and when I'm finished, like everything down to my writing, the foil pairing, the way that I've scattered the boxes that I decided to use, I just think I did it perfectly. Not tooting my own horn, but I'm tooting my own horn. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. It's got the perfect amount of foil. Like, it just, I could go on and on forever. But as I mentioned, this week was the week of my mum's birthday. I did have some other stuff on, nothing like overly exciting. Again, this is still kind of, if you watch my previous Plan With Me video, this was kind of in that spot where I was trying to be more conscious of what I was eating. I was trying to drink spearmint tea for my polycystic ovaries. It was just one of those weeks. I got some good news this week. I had some long work days this week. It was kind of just like a myriad of different things. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump on into everything so we can talk about things in a little bit more depth, which I don't often get to do. But first things first, on my sidebar, I do what I normally do. I do my little top left deco section. I've got my 2 full boxes. I did have a foiled quote box this week, which I think really sort of complemented the overall spread. I did write down, no. I marked, or I placed out sections for my socials, so my Instagram and my YouTube, because I do like to track those each week so that when I look back, I can see how much my channel grew, or like if I didn't post a lot, did I lose followers? Did I lose subscribers? And then I've got 2 boxes there. I've got one with a book and one with a bow. I don't know what the bow was for. And the book would have been for the book that I was reading that week. But again, I don't recall. Like, I read like a series at the beginning of the year, and I've not read anything since. And I don't remember what book I was reading at this particular time. So it's blank. I do keep my weekly notepad pages, because I like to make sure that, like, before I get rid of them, I've completed everything. Like, I don't have any gaps. I've put all my stickers down and whatnot. So the spreads where I've left gaps, I'm hoping that when I go back and look at my weekly note pages, that I do still have like the recordings there, and then I can just transfer that into my planner. But if not, we just have this blank sidebar. Either way, spread still looks great. So let's go ahead and get into the weekly plans. You can see a little shimmer from that quote box there, which says, "May your wishes come true." And I think it's a really pretty quote. Again, could be used for anything: baby shower, birthday, wedding, whatever. It works. So on Monday, we have started off the week and the day by marking Coffee Monday. You guys know by now, I have so many coffee stickers, so many Coffee Monday stickers. I don't really need to be marking Coffee Monday, because like I'm a coffee Monday through Sunday kind of girl. And I'm talking like 3 to 4 coffees a day type of coffee girl. So I should really be marking coffee every day. But I collected so many coffee related stickers that I just need to use them up at this point. So that's what I'm doing. I may later destash them, but for now it is what it is. At this point I was still marking Coffee Monday, so that's what we're rolling with. And then this week I have marked work with some little Scribble Prints Co. laptops and work labels. I should say, I'm not going to tell you where every sticker is from. I did just then, because I like to mark the work for the week consistently Monday through Friday. But otherwise, if you do have any other questions, any questions about specific stickers, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to you. But I do link the shops that I've used throughout the spread in the description below as well. So definitely check them out. Below work, I have marked there that I left a message with the endocrinologist. So again, following on from the previous plan with me, still very much in that, like, let's get healthier, let's get my things sorted. And part of getting that sorted was to make contact with an endocrinologist. She also works as part of like a fertility specialist as well. So I was meant to make an appointment with her. That didn't end up happening. Still hasn't happened, but I did leave a message. I think her like team did get back to me eventually, but they didn't really answer my question. But another story for another day, I guess, or maybe never, because like nothing really eventuated. But I did leave the message this day. I was trying. I then did a post box drop this day. I'm not sure what for, but I obviously needed to post something, so I did that. And then I have marked that I listened to some ASMR on Twitch. Listened and watched, listened. I was on Twitch. And then I've marked the end of the day with a spearmint tea, because again, part of getting my health back on track was that for my PCOS, it is recommended, it was recommended and it is recommended, but my dietitian suggested that I have 2 cups of spearmint tea every day, because it would help with my hormone levels, particularly my testosterone levels, because they're a little bit higher than average, and it's supposed to help balance that out. I cannot not recommend spearmint tea enough. It is horrid. I do like a breakfast tea, but spearmint tea, herbal tea, like it's something else. I tried. I did several days, 2 cups, and I don't know. There's something about the lack of milk, the fact that it's hot, the taste of spearmint, which is like toothpaste to me or gum, and combining that together as like a warm beverage, like it didn't work. So luckily I have been able to substitute the spearmint tea for a spearmint tea extract tablet, which I've been taking instead, but I was trying at this point. We then move on to Tuesday, which was my mum's birthday. And for anyone who is Australian, you will know that the 25th of April is also the day that we celebrate or commemorate Anzac Day. So I did mark at the top there that it was my mum's birthday. And then I've used a cute little deco piece from the kit, and I've written "Lest We Forget" to commemorate that it was Anzac Day as well. For my mum's birthday, we did decide to go to the local club, where we had a buffet lunch. So you basically go in, and I think adults, it's like $27 per head, and it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet situation. Depending on how busy it is, you can be there for a maximum of 2 hours, because then they close and they get ready for dinner. So we did that. We were there the whole time. This particular day was an interesting day. My poor husband got smacked on the back from some random lady. She like ran through the RSL and like slapped him really hard on the back. You like heard that like slap sound, and he was so taken aback by it. But it was fine. It was all good, but we were just kind of like, what the heck happened? She was with a carer. So when we initially hadn't known what had happened, we then it made more sense, because her carer came up to us and, she was like, "Hi, I'm such and such from such and such. My apologies." And then she kind of explained the situation to us, which was lovely, because she didn't need to do that. But initially we were just, my brothers and my mum was sitting there, and this lady came, and like I said, she like ran from out of nowhere, slapped my husband on the back, and then like kept running. And our initial reaction was like, who is this woman? And like, why is she slapping my husband in the middle of a restaurant? And we were kind of all looking at each other like, who is that? Do you know her? Like, we couldn't piece it together. And then obviously, like I said, things sort of sorted themselves out. That lady approached us and explained the situation, and it all made sense. But it was very like, we were just kind of like, what the heck is happening? So that was interesting. That was an interesting event for the lunch. But then we obviously did settle down. We had some delicious food. We had some dessert, because the buffet does include desserts as well. And then, needless to say, my husband is a little bit of a gambler. My mum's partner is a little bit of a gambler. So is one of my brothers. So we went on the pokies, or the poker machines, where you insert coins and or notes or tap your card these days, which is very dangerous. And played around on the pokies for a little bit. And then after that, we went back to my mum's house for some coffee and cake, which is otherwise what our usual tradition is. We don't go too big or too hard on birthdays anymore. As people have gotten older, we tend to just kind of commune as a family. We have some coffee, we cut cake, and kind of hang out, and that's kind of it. On Wednesday, I have marked that we had work, or I had work. Tuesday, we didn't have work because Anzac Day is a public holiday here in Australia. But Wednesday was back to work. I had a doctor's appointment this day. And then again, home from the doctor's appointment, my little, I went to the doctor, congratulations, pat on the back type thing is that I get myself a McDonald's coffee. So I marked getting McDonald's coffee on the way home. And then I've marked that it was a long day because even though it's not chronological, when I came back from McDonald's, that's when I worked. So I didn't work first. I kind of went to the doctor, came home, and then worked. I've then marked this day that I got a Plannerface delivery, which is always a happy day for me. I love Plannerface. And then I've marked that I did a sticker order. And then my husband and I watched I'm a Celebrity that night as well. Jumping over to Thursday and sort of catching up to where we are based on what I'm doing on camera at the moment. I've started off the day by marking work. Again, I've marked that it was another long day or a long ass day. This period of time, towards the end of month for me, work-wise is always chaotic. I'm always really busy. I really have long hour days. So that was that. And then after work, I did mark that I had waxing and then my nail appointment. For anyone who has been around for a little while, you generally know, I don't know if you do know or you've picked up on it, but I do generally do my waxing and my nail appointments on the same day because that means it's over and done with, it's out of the way, and it frees up my weekend to do whatever I want. Whereas if I was to do waxing on a Thursday and then go and do my nails on the weekend, it takes 2 days out of my time essentially. So that's kind of just how I prefer to do it. And then when I got home from my nail appointment, I marked that I had a YouTube binge and I did a little bit of journaling. You would have seen in my last spread that I did mark journaling as well. It was one of those things that I went down a rabbit hole. I watched a bunch of videos. I bought like a lined notepad. I bought stickers to decorate and I started pre-decorating spreads. And it was just going to be I was just going to post a gratitude post for each day. So it was going to be a 2 pages, a week to 2 pages. And I was just going to do a summary of every day in there to practice mindfulness and, positivity and gratefulness. And I was really excited. I got everything. I started making spreads. I think I did 2 or 3 and really, really loved how they turned out. And then that was it. End of the hobby. Again, I don't know if anyone else does that, but I go through these situations where I really, really want to do something. I get started, it's short-lived, and then we're on to the next hobby. So I have a bunch of scrapbooky, sticker, journaling, decorative type things that I probably won't ever use. And I spend a bit of money on them. And my husband kind of at this point just kind of rolls his eyes at me. So there was that. But I was journaling. On to Friday, I started the day by marking work, and then I put a little munchkin, no, not a munchkin, an emoji. I always say the wrong thing. I put a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji there to mark that my boss at the time called me to say that I had all but gotten permanent. They had to do the formal hiring process, which meant that as part of the formal hiring process, I was being considered, but they also had to check firstly to make sure that there was no one else in the company that has been displaced from a previous role and, whether they were better suited. But, all things considered, it looked possible that I would be getting the job permanently because my job was only temporary and I was kind of getting extended on a kind of monthly to 3-monthly basis. So this was kind of just a call to say, you've got it, but you haven't got it quite yet, which was nice. I've then marked that evening that I watched some YouTube and that we had Red Rooster for dinner. And then that night, my team played the Brisbane Broncos and we won 32 points to 6. And then that night, we watched Ocean's 12. Saturday, I've put a cloud there, which I'm thinking indicates that we had a storm or that it was cloudy or rainy, but I haven't written that in there for some reason. But I did also do some filming that day. And then we took my youngest brother to the shops with us. He must have wanted to get something because usually he won't come to the shops with us. So I feel like he's probably messaged me and asked to tag along. And we've then done some grocery shopping while we were at the shops. And we also had Mad Mex for lunch. On the way home, we got coffee and donuts. And then I've marked that because I was driving that day in my new car. My new car hit 1,000 kilometers, which I thought needed to be celebrated because, like, whoa, my car's done 1,000 kilometers. And I thought that was a bit of a milestone. And then that evening, I've marked that we watched Ocean's 13. And then finally, we have reached Sunday. So on Sunday, the first thing that I've marked is that I slept all morning, which generally means that I've slept until like 11:30, sometimes later. Love that for me. My whole weekend seems wasted. But again, going back to my PCOS discussion from the previous video, it happens. I feel like I'm living in a constant state of fatigue because I actually am. When I woke up, I did have some coffee, and with my coffee, I had some crumpets for breakfast. I do go through phases where I absolutely love crumpets, and then phases when I'm like, no thanks, don't want those anymore. But this was a crumpet phase. Then I've marked that I did some more filming on this day. I've organized some stickers. And then what have I got here? There was a post on Facebook, and it was from one of my like favorite like influencer, YouTuber, podcasters. And I commented on something and he replied to me. So I was very excited about that because I've been following him for the longest time, and I've, DM'd him and done all of that stuff, and just nothing ever happened. But this day he replied to me, so that was fun. And then that evening I uploaded a video, and my husband and I watched I'm a Celebrity. And that is that. But here we are going through the leftovers. I will give you guys a little bit of a wiggle, and I will hopefully see you all soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.